Do you have an old crap can like this taking up space in your driveway? Are you still holding on to your old high school whip? Did your aunt run off to Alaska with her boyfriend and leave her shitbox Cadillac sitting next to your house? If so, call Woffords Towing. They haul off junk cars just like these, and they even pay you cash for those old clunkers. So let's recap. We take your pile of crap, we put it in our state-of-the-art pancake maker, and we squeeze out all the cash. Woffords Towing and Auto Wrecking, 201 South Frontage Road, Wapato, 509-877-4944.
Hello race fans and welcome to Martinsville, Virginia, here tonight for the iRacing Northwest Tour presented by Joe's Racing Products. Woffords Towing Twin 100s here tonight. We get twice the Martinsville fun here with twin A mains, 100 laps in distance for both of them, and it's sure to be a fun time around this half-mile paperclip. I'm Justin Kolb, along with Greg Rance up here in the booth, Carlos Acosta in the production truck, and Greg, you didn't quite make the B main there, but from what we saw and what we know about this track here tonight, a very hot track and a very tough setup that these guys are going to have to deal with. I think we're set up for a lot of fun here tonight.
It's going to be one hot daddy down there on the half-mile Martinsville Speedway tonight. It is a very, very hot afternoon down there, and this race is going to be jam-packed with star-studded lineup coming your way from Martinsville tonight. I can't wait for this one, Justin.
Absolutely, and like I said, from what we saw in the B main, really looking forward to it. So before we take the green here tonight, I always want to run you through what the point situation is at the moment, and Jason Berg slowly running away with it at the moment. 501 points to his credit at the moment, and then just behind is Sean Breitzman in second, 39 points behind the points leader Jason Berg, and other than that, it's kind of run away with it. James Paulson in third, 67 points behind. Bart Hector Jr. and Matt Hackathorn tied with 106 points respectively, fourth and fifth. And then you have Vernon Margheim in sixth, 119 behind. Seth Fraser 125 behind. In 7th, Caden Anderson, 130. BJ Tidrick in 9th, 132. And Mathew Kingsbury rounding out your top 10 there, 141 points back at the moment. So Jason Berg won the last 2 races here. Let's see if anybody can claim that title away from him and try and get a win here tonight, as Jason's still on top of the board at the moment. But before we go green, Greg, anybody you want to talk to and see what their mindset is here tonight?
I was kind of wanting to talk to the guy you were talking about there, Jason Berg, see how he feels going in looking for his 3rd straight win.
All right, let's see if we can't bring him up here and dial him up.
Yes?
Hey, Jason Berg, Greg Renson, the tower, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Jason, you've been the hottest driver on the tour. 2 straight wins and 3 and 4 starts coming into tonight. How do you like your chances here with 2 shots at a win here tonight?
Man, I don't know. It's going to be a tough race. As you know, we got the invert, and the top 3 finishers go to the back. So this track, 100 laps, really isn't that long, so passing is going to be hard. Honestly, I'd say my chances are not all that great tonight, so it's going to be hard to stay out of trouble.
All right, Jason. Looks like you're trying to get focused up for what you suspect to be a long night with 2 100-lap races. We'll let you go. Get ready. Good luck tonight, sir.
Hey, thanks, Greg.
And that was Jason Berg, winner of the last 2 starts in the Northwest Tour, the Snowball Derby and the Watkins Glen race, the Mike Wood Race Designs 60 at the Glen. And the last time we did twin main events was at New Hampshire, and Justin, he did take home the win in one of those 2.
Yes, sir. And, you know, those 2 tracks don't have quite the similarities to them, but both kind of flat road course style corners, if you will. New Hampshire's kind of stretching it a little bit, but if you do well at road courses, I definitely think it transitions over here to New Hampshire. These corners are basically just hairpin corners that these guys are going to have to negotiate, and seeing from the B main, kind of seeing here from practice, can't quite get on that loud pedal as much as you're going to want to without spinning the car out here tonight.
And this is a track that you're going to need to be in the game the entire time. 100 laps twice here this afternoon. There is no breaks at this racetrack. This is one that you need your focus 100% of the time if you want to be successful here.
Absolutely, and just to add to that pressure, you're going to have guys knocking on your rear bumper, trying to get you loose out of the way, and I'm sure you're going to have guys in front of you who you think are going to be a little bit slower and you want to knock out of the way. So it's going to be a battle of attrition here tonight. It's going to be a battle of keeping your car straight, keeping your car clean, and getting it to the end. The good news for these guys is you have a bad race in A main number 1. You still got another one to try and get it done.
And like you said, Justin, there's 2 races here tonight. So, Justin, who's a guy you're looking at to really have some success here in these 2 races here this afternoon?
Well, obviously you can't count out Jason Berg, but one of the guys that I was watching in that B main and didn't quite get the credit I don't think he deserved there at the end. iRacing kind of messed up with the final results there, but Chance Overholt in that 62, currently 6th on the board. I think he's definitely a guy you're going to have to be on the lookout for here tonight. Led most of that, if not all of that B main, and was definitely had a very fast car, so look forward to seeing what he can do.
Your eyes are on the 62. My eyes are on the number 46 of Sean Brightsman. He was secondly in the practice session. And remember, he was the one who gambled on fuel, stretched it to the absolute last drop, ran out of fuel coming through the final turn, and came home with a top 5. But had he made it through that last turn, he would have come home in second in that race. And I'm looking for him to capitalize on that momentum and carry it through. The Richmond winner earlier this season, I'm watching for Sean Brightsman to make a big step here tonight.
Absolutely had the guts to do it at Watkins Glen, and hopefully he has the guts and the drive and determination to get it done here tonight, as well as the resilience of guys knocking down your back door there. So don't have too much time before we take the green here at Martinsville for our first A main event. Should be going green here in about 2 minutes, and we'll set the field then. Looks like we have the full field here at the moment, so everybody's in the session. We'll be going green with 24 cars in the field.
Getting set. Final seconds of practice, getting ready to wind down. Justin, it's been a pretty fun year so far. A lot of guys coming up, and so far in the early stages, it's been chasing Jason Berg, but Jason said it in his pre-race interview. He does not know if he's going to be able to turn in the dominating performances that we've seen out of him lately. He doesn't think he's going to have as easy a time doing it this afternoon. He said he was worried about it tonight.
Absolutely, and I think that just comes down to the unknown as practice wraps up there. But I think that just comes down to the unknown of not knowing what this car is going to do and, just how unpredictable I think it's going to be here tonight. So practice wrapped up. A nice shot there, and let's take it to the grid here tonight. Of course, qualifying was inverted with the top 16, so it will be James Paulson on the front row there on the pole, with Christopher Heim starting next to him in the second spot.
Brian Lambert in the number 52. Not sure if it's Lambert or Lambert. I'll have to get a pronunciation check on that, but with the Spokane Chiefs coach name being Dan Lambert spelled that way, that's just the natural way for me, but we'll get that confirmed. Garrett Sisk on the outside of row number 2 in the number 1 car.
Then you have Rusty Webb there, familiar name here, at least on the iRacing side. They're starting 5th. Vernon Margheim going to start just outside the top 5 in the 6th position.
Andy Fuller came home 2nd at Watkins Glen at the end of the day last weekend, rolls off in the 7th position, and Travis McKinney, the 48, we were watching him earlier in practice, he rolls off 8th.
Garrett Huffine is going to start 9th, and Seth Fraser going to round out your top 10.
Sean Breitzman looking to capitalize on a good run and barely hold on for a top 5, looking for some momentum with Bart Hector Jr. He's looking for that first win. He is hungry in that 82 car.
All right, let's quickly wrap this up here as we're going to have a lap left. Nicholas Bellamy going to start in the 13th position, Scott Mann in 14th. Then you're going to have Brad Morrison in the 15th position, Jason Berg going to start at the tail there in 16th. And then our B main entrance, Chance Overholt in 17th, Dylan Huffines in 18th. Donovan Barr in 19th, Josh Childress in the 20th position, Cameron Doyle in 21st, Daryl Tidrick 22nd. And then BJ Tidrick and Matt Hackathorn round out the field there with your provisionals. Greg, we're getting ready to go green here.
Field in the hands now of the number 80 of James Paulson as he pulls off behind the pace car. He's going to bring us to the green, to his outside, Christopher Heim. Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime at Martinsville.
Didn't quite seem like everybody got the same jump there, but either way, we make it into turn 1 pretty cleanly, almost 3 wide there, but everybody looks like they're going to sort through it cleanly.
Paulson gets out to the early lead in the number 80. Lambert in the 52, or Lambert, have to get that confirmed. He's on the inside, the 51 minus 1 of his numbers, but Paulson leads lap 1 in the 80.
Just about 3 wide there. Oh, the 7 of Huffine is going to go around in turn number 1. Looks like it was just a single car spin. Kind of collects the 26 there, but looks like it was just the 7, and I believe he got clipped entering that first corner.
Taking a look back at it.
Got clipped by the 77 of Josh Childress, it looked like.
So tough break here to start the race off for Dylan Huffines as he collects Childress, Daryl Tidrick, and Brad Morrison got collected in it as well in the 26.
Yeah, just a little, probably farther than he thought, and unfortunately collected once again the 7 of Dylan Huffines. Didn't look like he had too terribly much damage, but it is Martinsville, so you're bound to get some scrapes and bruises along the way.
And the good news is, with this being a different format, this is twin 100, so just because he's having problems here in the early stages, none of these guys are out of the mix for the second race because it's going to be an invert of the top 16, I do believe, and they'll be sitting pretty if they can try to make their way back out here. So this race in the evening, nowhere near over for them. The first race not going to go the way they were hoping, but they still got a full second 100 lap race coming their way.
Absolutely. They're going to get fresh cars, fresh tires, fresh fuel, fresh everything, as well as a fresh track. So they're going to have basically a whole nother race that they're going to have to, or they're going to be able to fight for.
So nobody out of the picture yet. Josh Childress has been he has disconnected from the race. So Josh Childress out of the fray early in the 77.
Not sure if that was from the admin or possibly just a little upset with himself. Obviously, that wasn't enough damage to take him out of the race, but he's out of it nonetheless at the moment. And Dylan Huffines. Take a look at where he's at the moment.
He's pulling out onto the track, yep. So Huffines will be out there, as looks like the lights are out on the pace car, I do believe. Yep, he's pulling in. So field back in the hands of James Paulson in the number 80, Dan Lambert in the number 52. We're ready to roll. Green flag back in the air. We're back underway at Martinsville.
That 80 definitely got a great start there and easily cleared the field entering turn 1. Now the fight's on for second with Christopher Heim and that one car of Garrett Sisk.
Boy, and James Paulson, he's really had a good couple of weeks. He won the non-points race at the Glen earlier last week and then wrapped it up with a podium in the third race, so it worked out for him. So he's got some momentum going as well in the number 80.
Absolutely. Now the fight's on for fourth back there with the 33 of Vernon Margheim and the 51 of Christopher Heim. That battle quickly subsides.
Paulson able to stretch it a little bit here in the early stages, already out to a 1.5 second lead over third place. That's 0.7 of a second behind Garrett Sisk, who has moved into second place. Was looking at the distance between first and third by mistake, but Paulson doing a good job, but Sisk not going away. It looks like Sisk beginning to close in. And yes, he was able to shave 0.2 of a second off that time by as the yellow is out.
Like the 45 of Daryl Tidrick around in turn number 4. Looks like just a one-car incident from that view. Take a look at what happened. Oh, the 9 got the curve there a little bit, and Daryl did a fantastic job of almost hanging on to that, but does an amazing job of not hitting the wall there and not hitting anybody else.
So Daryl Tidrick definitely probably just wanting this first 100 lapper to be done, as 10 laps in, he's already been caught up in 2 accidents, neither of which his doing.
Got really close there with, not quite sure who that was, some sort of blue car with red numbers, but I got really close there. Well, 90 laps to go here at the moment. Just want to fill you in on some of the names we were talking about before. How about Jason Berg has actually lost a position back there in 17th after the invert. He's not look like he's having too much fun at the moment, but trying to work his way up here. Still a long way to go.
He mentioned he wasn't too sure about how his car was going to handle, but now he's going to be restarting on the inside line, so maybe this will be what he needs, because we've seen it throughout the years at Martinsville Speedway. This is a track that you want to be on the inside, and now with him starting in the 17th spot, when we go green flag, double file restart, he will be on the inside. So maybe Jason Berg just wanted to get down to the inside before he really showed his cards.
Well, Greg, I hate to break it to you, but now he's starting on the outside. That always happens as the 9 got the EOL. So he's actually going to have his work cut out for him, I guess.
Yep, just as we said, he was on the inside. He's back to the outside as Donovan Barr does get a EOL penalty. He will start at the tail end of the field. So Berg not out of the woods just yet, sitting in the 16th spot. So he gets that spot back that he lost, but still got a long ways to go. Going to be stuck on the outside to start this one.
Yeah, the outside definitely not where you're going to want to be, because it's basically a freight train to the back if you don't run it right. As you see, the lights on the pace car are out. Pace car should be heading down into pit road this time early on the back straightaway, and these guys were informed in the driver's meeting to just keep a steady pace through 3 and 4, and then once they got to the front straightaway to gas up and go, and that's what they've been doing so far, as the 80 of James Paulson still your leader. Green flag is out, and once again another clean start there. I thought the 33 was going to make it 3 wide, but he gets right on the bumper of the 1, and the 46 is Sean Brightsman in the wall.
Keeps it going for now, but he has got some heavy damage on the right side of that 46 car as going into turn number 3. Very heavy damage on the right front of that 46 car.
I think he may have been shoved into that corner. It definitely looked like he was hard on the brakes trying to keep that car from barreling into that corner, but lost a ton of positions. He'll have to work his way back up now.
So Brightsman to the outside of Scott Mann right now behind Bart Hector Jr. He's in a side-by-side battle with Andy Fuller. He finished second at Watkins Glen last weekend, the only road course race of the year. As things get settled down, still James Paulson up front, but Garrett Sisk not going away here in the early stages.
Name we heard late in the going last week at Watkins Glen as well until he came down pit road and finished somewhere in the top 10. I think it was around the 8th position. But showing his strength early here, again, is that one of Garrett Sisk and Vernon Margheim behind them in 3rd.
And remember, that was Sisk's first start of the year at Watkins Glen last week. A couple of guys making their first starts this year, Lambert being one of them in the 52, and this has been a pretty... This series has been nice to guys making their first starts midway in the season. Remember Nick Bellamy at the Snowball Derby back first week of December at Pensacola at Five Flag Speedway was making his first start. He led a majority of the first race. This series has been nice to guys making their debut mid-season.
Absolutely. May not be up at the front, but definitely favors them to be in the top 5. Speaking of Nick Bellamy, currently 7th, just 2 spots out, but he might be fighting before it's too late here.
Well, you mentioned fight, and Garrett Sisk is bringing the fight now to James Paulson into number 80. He is at the back bumper for the race lead. 21 laps in the docket now as Paulson crosses the strike, working lap 22. And Paulson's led every single one of them, but Sisk giving him his first big challenge of the night as the battle breaks out for the 4th spot.
Yes, sir. That is the 48 of Travis McKinney and the 52 of Brian Lambert, almost off the wall into the door, but keeps it straight. And now losing positions on that outside line. The 42 of Garrett Huffines goes by. The 20 of Nick Bellamy trying to go by. They're still fighting side by side heading into turn 1.
There's that inside line that we talked about earlier. Guy gets stuck on the outside, and here at Martinsville, that inside line turns into a freight train when you got one guy stuck on the outside and a lot of guys coming on the inside. They're all going to snowball all the way past him. He was lucky to tuck in behind Bellamy before Heim could get up there because he was in trouble of falling even out of the top 10 if he wasn't careful.
Now we heard with the conditions of the track, there was a possibility of a second groove coming in. I think that's going to be probably something we see a little bit later if it does happen, but that'd be quite the interesting thing to see if these guys start to get a little bit higher as the track starts to get more and more worn in.
You mentioned second groove and Jason Berg making the outside work a minute ago in the number 21 car. I was just getting ready to ask you about when did you think the second groove was going to come in, but it looks like Jason Berg has decided now, as he has gotten around Bart Hector Jr. on the outside, now taking a peek on Sean Brightsman on the outside, so it looks like Jason Berg going to do the work himself to try to get the second groove to come in.
I was thinking about halfway, but obviously he has other intentions. The 88 of Rusty Webb gets a little bit wide off corner number 2, hits the wall in the back straightaway a tad, and stuck on the outside. That's going to possibly congest Jason Berg a little bit as he gets stuck behind the 46 of Sean Brightsman. Both cars that were fast early in practice, Greg, in the back at the moment.
And that Berg just having problems negotiating traffic here in the early stages. Now he's gotten to the inside as Webb catches the wall again, almost got into him, and Hector had to check up to avoid running into Webb as well. But Berg, he finally got down on the inside, but it looked like he was like, well, if I'm going to be stuck on the outside, I might as well work on it to try to get this groove to come in, as he's peaking a little bit higher on entry of the corners than Sean Brightsman in the 46. So we'll see how long it takes Berg to get this outside lane going and see if anyone else realizes what he's doing and try to follow suit and try to work this in quicker.
Yeah, he's actually running a groove up entering the corner, and then he gets low exiting the corner, but I think he's just trying to work in that entry at the moment, or at least try and work over that 46 of Sean Brightsman at the moment, but he has definitely moved up at least one groove. As you can see, he's not all the way on that yellow line.
But notice Brightsman moving up a little bit as well in the 46 car. He's beginning to creep up, keeping Berg in his tire tracks. Not so much that time, but actually you can see it in relation to 90. Brightsman also beginning to step up a little bit higher on entry. So just like we said, a couple of guys realizing what Berg's doing, and they're starting to follow suit. This time Berg goes way outside, doesn't get any run, but the outside lane definitely starting to come in little by little as we see guys trying to work it out.
One of the things you have to do as a race car driver, you have to be willing to adapt, and obviously both those guys doing that now. See if anybody else starts to move up, but obviously those guys in front still sticking to that line, and it's for the moment working, holding off that 46 and the 21.
Well, it's not working for the 88 of Rusty Webb because he is stuck on the outside, and he's currently the victim of the freight train as he fell way back there with Dylan Huffines, Cameron Doyle, the 23, Daryl Tidrick, the 45 back there. So Webb has fallen all the way to the back in the 88 cars. The battle breaks out for the lead. Sisk also beginning to creep up and take a little bit of a higher line.
He absolutely is. Oh, and he's almost going to get to the back bumper of the 80. Not quite enough to get the bumper, and I'm sure that wouldn't have ended too well that late in the corner, but definitely moving up a groove. Getting down a little bit earlier than I would think, but either way, looking like he's getting a good run off the corners. Speaking of battles, the battle for third looks like it was pretty intense, but here goes the 42 underneath the 48 of Travis McKinney.
And Huffines not going away, trying to get that inside lane to work in the 42. We'll see if Huffines can get anything with him in the 48.
Like last time, it was corner exit was the 42 strong suit, and now a little back up with the 33 of Vernon Margheim. Looks like we'll catch them all up together again.
Single file, third through fifth for the time being. Nick Bellamy in sixth. He was the early leader at the Snowball Derby. Had a solid run at Watkins Glen, sitting sixth right now. Has two shots to try to break through and get this first tour win tonight in the 20 car as McKinney makes a little bit of contact with Margheim, and that could be the opening McKinney needs as he's to the inside of the 33. He'll have the inside line in the turn one.
And that's where it's going to get a little bit treacherous. It seemed like as those guys got up on the outside line, the cars seemed to slide up more and more. And obviously that bump was letting them know that I'm here and I want by. And that's what's going to happen right here as we see a cloud come over the Martinsville Speedway.
And this is going to cool the pavement off a little bit. And for guys searching for grip, because it's a hot day outside, this cooling off of Martinsville Speedway is going to be huge. This is going to cool the track down a lot real quick as McKinney gets the position, bringing Huffines with him, and that's brought Bellamy into the battle. I think this track cooling off was just what Bellamy needed to get up there with this battle going on as well.
That 42 got really loose. Oh, there goes the 33. The 20 going to make contact, but what a job the 33 of Vernon Margheim does of saving that race car.
That was the save of the year for the Northwest Tour. Right there. Seal it. Put the name on the trophy right now.
Taking a look here on board with the 33. Contact and... man. And that might look easy, but you got to realize how worn these tires are, how hot the track is, how difficult the setup is. That's a heck of a job of saving that race car.
That was absolutely beautiful by Vernon Margheim in the 33.
And I think that 20 was trying to sneak in as well, but the 33 tried to slam that door, but the 20 kicked it wide open once again.
So Margheim loses another spot now to Lambert in the 52, but he made that save and it paid off big time, as that could have been a disaster for the 33 of Margheim, but he hangs on.
Yeah, how about the two guys we were talking about a little bit
Yeah,
earlier, Greg.
they both just crept into the top 10. Sean Brightsman and Jason Berg. They're creeping up while all this goes on. We both noticed it at the same time.
Now that tells me those cars are either, or those two are either good on the long runs, or they've just figured out something that everybody else is kind of missing at the moment. Is Brightsman going to get to the inside? Nope, not quite of Andy Fuller, but how about Berg to the outside now? As I believe Berg has just kind of been riding on the coattails of the 46, kind of following the doors that the 46 has opened.
Well, here's the thing with Brightsman that I'm kind of curious about. He has that heavy damage from hitting the wall early in this one, and it doesn't seem to be slowing him down at all. If that car didn't have any damage, if that car was still 100% intact, how much further ahead would he be than he is now?
Well, obviously, yeah, this track isn't too aero sensitive, but obviously that shows me that that damage is just cosmetic and there's no suspension damage to it either. And if it does, then he's not showing it at all. He tries to rattle the back of the 16 of Andy Fuller, getting pretty close there. But one guy that I don't think we've given enough credit as well, the car behind him as well, the 82 of Bart Hector Jr. is just kind of follow these guys as well through the field.
And Hector's doing a good job in this 82 car, kind of just hanging through. I think he decided he was just going to follow Jason Berg through the field, doing a good job in that number 82 car. So definitely going to be one to keep your eye on here as we close in on the second half of this one. Keep your eyes on the 46, 21, and 82.
I think we have a more significant cloud over the track, so that's going to cool it down just a tad as Brightsman tags the wall just a little bit there once again and had to check up hard there for the 16 of Andy Fuller. 21 did a good job of recognizing that.
So Fuller putting the pressure on Lambert now. But feeling the heat still from Sean Brightsman. And Fuller did a good job last weekend at Watkins Glen to really try to get some momentum going for himself. And it worked out. As here comes Brightsman to the inside of Fuller, just when we started talking about Fuller, the road course regular, kind of the road course ringer of the Northwest Tour, a second place last week at Watkins Glen, running in the top 10 right now, but in danger now because here comes Brightsman. He's got the door, he's got the nose in front off the corner.
And I mean, really the only thing that Fuller can do at that point is hug tight and hope they make a mistake on that bottom line, because it's almost inevitable to go to the back in that situation, as they had three cars lined up there. As here comes the 82 of Bart Hector Jr. will follow that open door as well, the 62 there of Chance Overholt, excuse me.
And Seth Fraser creeping in as well in the Coors Light, the Silver Bullet scheme this weekend. Boy, Seth Fraser, he loves changing up his paint schemes. I think he's had a different paint scheme every week in this series, and I gotta say, this is one of his best looking ones. The Silver Bullet 02 gets around Andy Fuller. That's a beautiful car for Seth Fraser tonight.
Absolutely. And yeah, as you were talking about that, it looks like Brightsman gonna try and put the move now on Chris Lambert there. We'll get to the inside, and of course Jason Berg gonna follow that move as well. So these guys slowly and methodically working their way through the field here with 48 laps to go.
So just past halfway, James Paulson has led every lap so far, but not without a challenge, as Garrett Sisk is on his back bumper. Have to wonder just how much Sisk is pressuring, or if he's just riding around making Paulson burn up his tires, and see if he can make a challenge later on in this one.
Not much has changed up front. Well, as soon as I say that, now the one of Garrett Sisk right on the rear bumper, that 80 of James Paulson. But Paulson led this whole race so far, and looking like he's in danger of losing it at the moment. That one really drove it into turn one there. These guys are going to have to be dealing with some lap traffic soon enough.
Kind of surprised lap traffic hasn't really become an issue yet in this one. We've reached the halfway point. We're on a pretty long green flag run here. This green flag run has gone a lot longer than you normally see at Martinsville. I'm kind of surprised lap traffic hasn't come into play yet.
I'm completely with you there, Greg. Normally we see it, 75 laps or 25 laps into that, and definitely shows you that these guys do have fast cars here tonight and been able to keep up pretty well with this pack. All right, 46, Sean Breitzman, now underneath the 20 of Nick Bellamy. That's actually going to move them up into the 6th position. These guys have been picking them up and putting them down pretty quickly here. One more position with that 33 of Vernon Margheim, and they will crack, or at least the 46 will crack the top 5.
He's done a great job despite the damage on that number 46. Breitzman has done an incredible job. 1 win on the year. That came at Richmond earlier this season, trying to fend off Jason Berg, who's on a streak right now. 2 straight wins and 3 in the last 4 if you count both New Hampshire races. But just 40 laps to go next time by for the 80 of Paulson, who has led from the get-go in this one, trying to snap the streak of Jason Berg.
Taking a quick look through the field for the most part. Looks like everybody just single file for the moment. Just kind of biding their time, trying to make runs and get positions on the cars in front of them. Travis McKinney in 3rd at the moment. About 2.5 seconds back of that battle for the lead, but should those guys get racing side by side, depending on how heated it gets, could lead him right into it.
He is all by himself right now, as he's got a big cushion over 4th place Garrett Huffines in the 42. So Travis McKinney, probably the one who's sitting pretty right now in that 48 car, sitting in 3rd, just trying to make click laps off. And if you're Travis McKinney, when do you decide it's go time in this one? The 38 laps to go at this moment. When is go time for the 48 car?
Well, man, really putting the bumper the one of Garrett Siskis, and that really messed him up on corner exit. I think if you're Travis McKinney, you're absolutely saving tires right now if they get another caution, saving up. But I think that just depends on how confident you are in your car and how quickly you think you can make it up. If you can make it up, he might just be saving and hoping for another caution at this point. The move. Oh, not quite.
Sisk thought about it on the inside, but he was just too far back to really make a stab at James Paulson. And lap traffic is getting bigger and bigger in the windshield of the 80 car. First car up will be Brad Morrison in the 26. So lap traffic finally beginning to creep into the picture now with 35 to go.
Well, you can put Sean Breitzman into the top 5 with that move. Gets past the 33 of Vernon Margheim, 21 of Jason Berg. Gonna follow suit as well. Oh, possibly a little bit of contact there. Corner exit of 2, and he slams that door shut as the 20 will try and make the move in and will not be able to pull it off. There's almost more contact between the two.
And noteworthy here, Hector was following Berg and Breitzman through the field, but Hector was not able to get around Bellamy when Breitzman and Berg were able to, so Hector kind of stuck back there right now.
Absolutely. And I obviously the higher up the field you go, the harder the cars are to pass, and I think that may be where he's finding himself. Obviously, the 20 has a fast car, as well as the 33. Well, up front.
Meanwhile, yeah, I was just going to say up front, Sisk putting the heat on the bumper of Paulson, and Paulson is catching that 26 car. Now we're going to see Garrett Sisk start to plan out his move to the front, and keep your eyes on that 48 car as well as these guys begin to negotiate lap traffic. Here we go.
26 caught the wall there just a tad, slowed him up just a bit down the back straightaway, the one all over the rear bumper. And this battle for the lead is really going to come down to how nice these lap cars play in traffic.
So Paulson leads, Sisk in second. They get around the 26 of Morrison. No real breathing room for the 80 of Paulson from the back, but he has a little bit of space to himself in the lap car of Rusty Webb. He's the last car on the lead lap right now, so Paulson not really able to contend with lap traffic right this second, so he can just focus purely on the one of Sisk for the time being.
Puts a lot of pressure on James Paulson at the moment. Second place, right on the rear bumper, got lap traffic in front of him. 30 laps to go before we drop the checkered flag. He must have a lot running through his mind at the moment. Either that, or he's focused forward and not worrying about anything.
Boy, Sisk got right to the back bumper of him through 1 and 2 that time. He's taking a peek inside. This could be Sisk's move, but Paulson shuts the door.
It wasn't quite there. As that was happening, BJ Tidrick in the 72 went down pit road. He's currently 9 laps down, so he's having his own set of issues at the moment. The one of Sisk up the track a little bit in turn 1. See if he can get a run down the back straightaway. Not quite, as the lap cars battle side by side in front of him. That's Daryl Tidrick and the 88 of Rusty Webb battling, hitting doors there in front of him.
And that is not what Paulson wants to see, and this is definitely what Paulson not wants to see. Sisk getting a run on the outside. That outside line might be coming in now at the crucial time for Sisk, but Paulson able to get back in front as Webb gives him room. Sisk now going to the inside of Paulson into turn number 3. Paulson shuts the door again. Boy, Garrett Sisk is putting all kinds of pressure on James Paulson right now.
At some point, Paulson's going to have to give, but that point is not quite here yet. 45, Daryl Tidrick just in front. The 1, Garrett Sisk trying to dime it in. The turns 1 and 2 get a good run off the corner. He's going to get loose, and that's going to lose a lot of momentum down the back straightaway and lose some ground to the 80.
And that's going to give Paulson a chance to breathe. Just enough time to focus on the 45 car. And a caution is out.
That's going to change everything. The 62 of Chance overhauled around on the back straightaway just before turn 3. And that's given everybody a chance at a shot at this win now. Taking a look at what happened. Oh, contact with, I believe that's the 82 of Bart Hector Jr. Yes, it was, on the back straightaway. I believe he possibly thought he was clear or didn't know that the 82 was out there.
Taking another look, this from the roof cam. Oh, Margheim got hit by Bellamy. That slowed everybody up. And just, it went from there.
Looked like he had some, or does have some pretty good damage. So that'll give Rusty Webb the lucky dog here on this caution. 25 laps to go at the moment. I'm guessing going to be going green. 22, 21 laps to go. We're going to have a pretty short shootout here, Greg, to finish it.
Nothing like short track shootouts, especially ones at Martinsville, and we are set for it. And remember, this is just the first race tonight. We still have a second 100-lap race to go. This has been a fun one so far.
Let's see if we can't talk to James Paulson, our leader here, Greg.
Hey, James Paulson, Greg Rents in the tower. Got a copy.
I gotcha.
Hey, James, you're doing a great job both fending off the 1 of Sisk and negotiating lap traffic, and you got just a hair of breathing room for a split second before that caution came out. Are you focusing more on trying to keep Sisk at bay or to try to negotiate traffic?
Well, it was both there. Towards the end, it was getting a little nerve-wracking. I'm just trying not to overdrive the entry and hit my marks. He's been pretty patient with me. Seems like he's a little better through the center, but I'm getting off just a little better. But just trying to hit my marks, that's all.
All right, James, we'll let you get focused back up as we get set to go green. About 23 laps to go. Good luck.
Thank you.
That was James Paulson, the leader in the number 80 car. And Justin, 23 laps, coming to 22 laps to go. It's going to be crunch time here for these guys. Who do you think has the advantage here? Is it Paulson, is it Sisk, or is it one of the guys behind them, McKinney, Huffines, or even the guy Breitzman or Berg?
That's it. I mean, it's crazy to think. I think as no lights are still on, but that the 46 and 21 have another shot at it. Realistically, I mean, they're only in the 3rd row, so if this restart gets crazy, they can be at the lead within the first lap. So you can't count them out, but it's going to be hard to bet against Paulson, who's been dominant this whole race.
Paulson has definitely been the dominant car so far. Travis McKinney was saving tires like a champ, though. We'll see what happens there. Garrett Huffines, another guy who was saving tires. Breitzman and Berg have been making their way through, and Berg was really the guy who was breaking in that outside line on the outside, so we'll see. He's on the outside now. Berg was the one that was kind of testing the waters on the outside earlier. See if he's got it where he likes it, if he thinks he can make a run on the outside or not.
You got to wonder, as they call off the green here, we'll be going green with at least 19 to go. So if they call it off again, but you got to wonder how much using that outside line has kind of hurt the 46 and the 21. Obviously, those cars still have speed, but you got to wonder how much utilizing that outside line has kind of worn their tires a bit, as they're currently 5th and 6th, respectively.
And I'm keeping also an eye on the 46 of Brightsman. With that damage on front, we noted that it's pretty much pure cosmetic at this point, but one more hit and it will be a lot more trouble for the 46 car. And with him being damaged already, some of these guys can afford maybe a soft hit or two. Brightsman can't really afford much. Looks like we're going to have a single file restart, so that's going to throw the outside lane survey right out the window.
And I'm sure everybody loves that. 80 going to bring him to green. Green flag is out, and a great start for Paulson. That's exactly what he needs. 19 laps to go. Let's see if he can hold off this one.
Just taking a peek to the outside, but he lost a lot of momentum through 1 and 2 there. McKinney gets to the bumper of Sisk. Big run for James Paulson. Now the backstretch into turn number 3.
And that was just overshooting the corner, I'd have to believe, on the one's part. Definitely not going to make that same mistake again as they head into turn number 1. Now he just needs to hit his marks and keep it straight. Looks like he got a little bit loose, it looked like. That almost allowed the 48 of McKinney to open the door.
And don't look now, because the 42 of Huffines, he's hungry for his first win. Brightsman hungry for his second. Berg trying to keep that win streak alive. There are some hungry hounds behind this battle between McKinney and Brightsman right now. So don't look away. This one's not over yet, but Paulson is doing everything in his power to scoot away from Sisk as he's opened up about a 5-car length lead.
The top 10 really nose to tail at the moment and could be shaken up at any point should anybody get a little bit physical here at the end of the race. Berg going back up to his high entry and low exit. See if he can't mount a run here. The 46 of Brightsman really loose in front of him.
That was a big bobble by Brightsman in the 46. Almost another one that looked like they're on entry. That's going to open the door. Boy,
oh, he's hit the wall.
Brightsman, and there's that hit we were talking about. One more hit for Brightsman could really be a dagger for him, and there it was, as he is going to lose 2 spots, maybe 3, if he can't fend off Fraser. We take a look at the replay.
Yeah, you and me saw the exact same thing. You can see him struggling with the wheel. Got the wall there, and then really gets it. That's going to lose him some positions here. No, Seth Fraser riding the curb there and will not get by the 46.
Boy, that's gotta be tough for Fraser to swallow that one there, as he had the door wide open for Brightsman and just caught the curb. Oh, Brightsman again.
Well, yeah, I think at this point, Brightsman has kind of overused his tires, and he's probably going to have to cool it down, try and finish these last 13 laps, and go attack in this next heat, knowing what he learned from this first one.
Oh, Garrett Sisk has decided go time is showtime, go time is now, because he is beginning to reel back in on James Paulson. Lap traffic should not come into effect now with just 12 laps to go. It's going to be mano a mano from here on. Paulson doing a good job trying to keep him at bay, but Sisk definitely closing in as he gets way in there, almost to the bumper of Paulson through the corners there.
Yeah, he seems to really like to drive it in on corner entry. Sometimes can't keep it backed up on the exit, kind of loses some ground, and that's kind of what you see there, but slowly and surely closing in. It was a 10th that time, so let's see what he can do here on this lap. Slowly but surely, I believe he's going to be there. The question is, can he get by the 80, who's led, I'm pretty sure, all the laps here tonight.
He's led every lap inside of 10 to go, but Sisk is there in the 1.
And the question's going to be, how physical do you get for this win? He's already bumped him a few times. Don't want to hit him too hard, enough to spin him out, but definitely want to move him out of the way.
Meanwhile, Jason Berg taking a peek on Huffines for 5th spot. Don't shy away from the 21 just yet. We've seen Berg pull some magic in this series. Not just this year, last year as well. He's the winningest driver in series history. 8 wins all time, leads the series. And Berg pulling another little late night magic in the 21 car, trying to get up there and contend for this one. But Paulson leading the way right now.
Garrett's just kind of even with the 80 these past couple laps. Hasn't really been gaining, hasn't really been losing. the 42 of Garrett Huffines gets almost into the 48, and that allows the 21 of Jason Berg to get underneath. Lost a little bit of momentum in the corner, and you can move Jason Berg up to 4th as he starts to hunt for that 48 of Travis McKinney now.
So Berg in the 4th, trying to track down McKinney. He's got 7 laps to get around him and break onto the podium.
Remember what that 21 said in the beginning. He didn't know how this night would go. Well, he's kind of slowly but surely showing his usual Jason Berg fashion. Not going to be able to get up there for the win, I don't think, but he's possibly going to get a podium here.
Yeah, he's putting all kinds of pressure now on the 48 of Travis McKinney to his bumper going through turn 3 and 4 there. As we are getting down to crunch time, 5 laps to go. I think this one's going to be between Paulson and Sisk.
And at what point does Sisk really lay it into him? I don't want to see him wreck him, but I at least want to see at least a bump and run if he can get there. I mean, he really tried at the exit of 4 there.
If you're Garrett Sisk, you've got to make your move now. We're inside 4 laps to go, just 2 miles left at Martinsville, Virginia. You got to go now. Dude, you cannot afford to wait for the last lap.
Especially really because he hasn't been gaining much, whether that's overdriving or just trying to get everything he can. Oh, blink from the 1 of Garrett Sisk. Not on the track at the moment. All right, now he's back. And gained at least a 10th there, right on the rear bumper of the 80. Three laps
so we'll
to go.
See. We will see if Sisk can get there. Looks like he's got a slight bit of right front damage on the number 1 car. Did not see where that came from. 1 mile to go at Martinsville, and Sisk is there putting the pressure on.
He's absolutely there. What can he do in these final 4 corners? What can he put together heading into 3 and 4? Coming back to the white. Gonna really drive it in. He's great on exit, better than Paulson. He's gonna be right on the bumper. He's gonna get loose.
And that will cost it. It's just the
he's gotta hold on.
He's gonna he's gonna hit the wall.
And there will be no caution because it's the white flag, so he's gonna lose all his positions, and it's gonna be James Paulson clearly through 3 and 4, no pressure from behind. He's going to come to the checkered flag, and he's going to win the first A main of the night for the Woffords Towing Twin 100s.
Paulson goes wire to wire in the number 80, and man, oh man, a heartbreak for Garrett Sisk, giving it everything he had, and that's going to cost him big time.
He is going to come home in the 18th position. Man, what a heartbreak, but I guess the one good thing for Garrett Sisk, he's got another shot at it, and once again, he can take what he learned here tonight and apply it into the second A main.
Well, James Paulson going to do a little celebrating in the number 80 car. He just picked up his first iRacing.com presented by Joe's Racing Products Northwest Tour win.
They're going to get him set up on the front stretch, take a little pictures, and then get set up for the second A main of the night. All right. Got Travis McKinney here in the booth. Greg, let's see if you can talk to our second place finisher.
Hey, Travis McKinney, Greg Rentz in the tower. Got a copy. Travis McKinney, Greg Rentz in the tower. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Travis, you came home in second. You were fending off Jason Berg, and all of a sudden, you find yourself in second as problems happen for the 1 of Garrett Sisk. Walk us through there as you were trying to fend off Jason Berg, and suddenly he had to real quickly try to dodge a wreck.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I was just hoping that he didn't tap the wall and bounce back up into the track because I had Berg on my tail, and we barely made it through there. I was telling him there after the race, I don't know how we made it through, but that was an entertaining race.
All right, Travis, 1 down. You're off to a good start. Second place, ran in the front for a majority of that one. You're in the top 3. Come home with the second tonight. You like your chances here going into race number 2?
Yeah, I've always liked Martinsville. It's a pretty fun track. You just kind of got to get in a rhythm. The long green runs were good. So I'm just hoping we can get some more green runs in this one here and just, slowly make my way to the front, stay out of trouble.
All right, Travis, we'll let you go get ready. Congratulations on second place.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, that was second place Travis McKinney. Now we have winner of the first A main of the night, James Paulson. You got a copy.
Gotcha, Greg.
Well, led flag to flag this whole race and held off a hard-charging one of Garrett Sisk. And I have to imagine at some point the pressure got put on you.
Yeah, at the green flag. Yeah, he was pressuring hard the whole time, and I'm glad he ran me clean. I was worried about getting that bumper at any moment there, but like I said, I was just lucky to kind of start out front. Track position was key and hit my marks.
Absolutely, did an amazing job of it. Well, that's one down here tonight. You got one more. Can you make it back-to-back?
Oh, we'll see. I think I got to start a little further back next time, so it's going to be more interesting for sure.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you the best of luck in the second A main. Hope to talk to you then as well.
Thank you.
All right. That was your A main winner, James Paulson there in the 80. Led all 100 laps of the night. Greg, that's pretty impressive here as we take a look at the results.
Yeah, and how about that? The momentum that James Paulson has right now is just—he's probably the hottest driver on the tour besides Jason Berg, as he picked up the non-points win last week at Watkins Glen, followed it up with a third in the points race at Watkins Glen. Now a win at Martinsville. James Paulson, he is probably one of the hotter guys on the tour right now. Travis McKinney, Jason Berg round out the podium, then Garrett Huffines, Nick Bellamy round out the top 5.
Sean Brightsman, who's working his way up the field with Jason Berg, going to come home 6th, and been a lot worse for that 46. So Seth Fraser going to come home 7th, Brian Lambert in 8th, Andy Fuller 9th, and Matt Hackthorne going to round up the top 10.
Coming home in 11th, the outside pole sitter, Christopher Heim in the 51. How about Cameron Doyle from the B main getting up there into the 12th spot? Donovan Barr got sent to the back early in that one. He comes back to finish lucky 13. Dylan Huffines and Daryl Tidrick comes home 15th.
Chance Overholt going to come home in the 16th position. Bart Hector Jr. in 17th. Garrett Sisk, after running second most of the race, all of the race, going to come home in 18th, unfortunately. But he's got another shot at a win here with the second A main. Vernon Margheim in 19th. I'm not quite sure what happened to Vernon there. May have gotten caught up in something, but Rusty Webb going to come home in the 20th position as well. Well, Greg, let's see if...
Rounding out the field in this one, Brad Morrison, the 26, BJ Tidrick in the 72, Scott Mann and Josh Childress rounds out the field.
All right, let's see if we can't... Yep, Garrett Sisk here, Greg.
Garrett Sisk, Greg Rents in the tower. Do you have a copy?
I sure do.
Hey, Garrett, man, you were right up there with Paulson, putting all kinds of pressure on, and just what happened at the end there?
I knew that I wasn't going to get by him unless he made a big mistake, or I was going to have to put the bumper to him. And I noticed in practice that you really couldn't put the bumper to somebody and move them out of the way cleanly without them spinning out, so I knew that wasn't an option. But I had a little bit of a run there coming to the white, and I decided to stay in it when it got a little free, and I just couldn't save it, I guess. But it's all good. He ran a great race, and we'll go have some fun in the second 100.
Oh, hey, man, you gave it all you had, and that's all you can ask for, and you put on one heck of a show with James Paulson. I'm sure the folks watching at home loved it, and we'll let you go get ready for the second race.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
And that was Garrett Sisk, driver number 1. Well, Justin, 1 in the books, 1 to go. What are you expecting from the second race? More of the same, or do you think this one's going to be a little bit different?
Well, knowing what these guys know now after one race in the books, I think we're in for an even better show. No, especially with Jason Berg and Sean Brightsman, knowing what they know with that second groove there, seeing if they can get that worked in a little bit earlier and see if they can't work their way up to the front. But definitely a fun showing, this first one.
Well, we were going to say something, but let's go to commercial. Got the cue from our producer. I was just going to say that knowing that the outside lane may work out better than what people thought, especially with Jason Berg in the 21. Do you think he's going to start making moves on the outside the second the green flag falls, or is he going to wait about 5 or 10 laps to try to settle himself in first?
I'd have to believe at least my mark is 25 laps, seeing, how long they waited, getting their running, getting comfortable, and then once that bottom line starts to, wear out a little bit, then they start moving up to the high side. I mean, that's at least what I think, but obviously racers like that have their own thoughts in mind and know what's best. Obviously, the 21 did.
So we'll see what happens as we take a little bit of a break before our second 100-lap main event. James Paulson takes home the win in the first one. We get set for another 100-lap race brought to you by Woffords Towing. It's the Woffords Towing Twin 100s on 3YTV.
Do you have an old crap can like this taking up space in your driveway? Are you still holding on to your old high school whip? Did your aunt run off to Alaska with her boyfriend and leave her shitbox Cadillac sitting next to your house? If so, call Woffords Towing. They haul off junk cars just like these, and they even pay you cash for those old clunkers. So let's recap. We take your pile of crap, we put it in our state-of-the-art pancake maker, and we squeeze out all the cash. Woffords Towing and Auto Wrecking, 201 South Frontage Road, Wapato, 509-877-4944.
Tidricks Quality Transmissions. Come see us today. Thank you.
And it's not about MS anymore. It's about just working out in this community and being a part of the community. And you can go there, you come to MS Forward and everybody gets it. You can talk to everybody about it. But that's, I think, my spin, if you will, on my disease has changed to a more positive thing, just because I've been able to be a part of MS Forward Gym. And it's not just a gym, I just can't say it enough, it's a community. It's really a community.
It's murder, go crazy, berserker.
Do you have an old crap can like this taking up space in your driveway? Are you still holding on to your old high school whip? Did your aunt run off to Alaska with her boyfriend and leave her shitbox Cadillac sitting next to your house? If so, call Woffords Towing. They haul off junk cars just like these, and they even pay you cash for those old clunkers. So let's recap. We take your pile of crap, we put it in our state-of-the-art pancake maker, and we squeeze out all the cash. Woffords Towing and Auto Wrecking, 201 South Frontage Road, Wapato, 509-877-4944.
And welcome back to Martinsville, Virginia, here tonight for the iRacing Northwest Tour provided by Joe's Racing Products. Woffords Towing Twin 100s. This is our second A main of the night, and Greg, a lot of exciting racing in that first one, and I think the second one gonna be even more of an exciting race.
Definitely, we had some incredible racing in that first one, but I think this one's going to be a lot racier, like even more racier than the first one, because we are inverting them off the finishing order of this one. So James Paulson, they just got word they're not inverting, so we'll see what happens.
I actually think it was the top three that are being inverted, if I heard that correct from the drivers' meeting. So
that's what happens when you miss the drivers' meeting. You're not caught up on anything. But anyway, James Paulson led 100 laps of 100 in that race, the first one. So we'll see if he can follow it up with another win and back up his first career points-paying Northwest Tour win with the second win in the number 80 car, or what will happen in this one.
And Greg, I don't think we talked enough about James Paulson there. The fact that the field was inverted, so his time was 16th on the chart. He got inverted to the pole, whether that was just a bad time or what, but not only did he get inverted to the pole, but he led all the laps of that race. I just don't think we gave him enough credit for how impressive of a run that was.
Definitely a very, very strong run for James Paulson, turning a lot of heads with that win in the number 80. We still got another 100-lap race coming your way here on 3Wide TV. Do you think Paulson repeats, or do we have a second winner?
Well, I mean, he's going to have his work cut out for him this time, getting inverted to, I believe, 24th, if not 16th. So he's going to have his work cut out, but if he can keep that car clean, he might be able to make it back up to the front. But knowing, I believe the 21 is going to go to the back as well. So he's got his work cut out for him again. So it's going to be interesting to see how this field lines up and how we all, or how everyone's going to make it through.
And you mentioned Jason Berg might be going to the back as well. Remember, he said he wasn't sure how his night was going to go. Started 16th, finished 3rd. So Berg, definitely another great night for him so far. We'll see what he can do here in the second race.
Oh yeah, and by the way, he's once again on top of the time chart at the moment. Sean Brightsman just behind in second. So those two cars are definitely fast, and they almost worked their way up to the front. Just kind of ran out of time a little bit there, but I think they're definitely going to be farther up in the field, well, at least Sean Brightsman is, but see if he can't work his way to the front and see if he can't run away with it.
So we will definitely see what this second race holds for these guys right now. Paulson with the big win to start this one off. And Sean Brightsman, he's definitely going to be looking for a little bit better luck after catching the wall a couple of times in that first one while he made his moves up through the field. Sitting second in practice right now in the 46th. Watch for him to be making a lot of big moves at the start of the race to try to get some redemption after the first race.
Absolutely, and based on invert, should be starting around 3rd, I would believe. I believe he finished 6th in that first one, so he should be up closer to the front, and I'd have to imagine that he's not going to waste any time getting to the lead. I don't believe it should be too long here before we see the checkered flag for practice. Oh, there it is.
They've just advanced the session, so it looks like we are getting set for our second 100-lap race of the afternoon. This is race number 2 of 2.
Everybody takes to the grid. Actually, I believe they're just doing...
Looks like they are going to do a 16-spot invert after all, as James Paulson going to roll off 16th in the field. Chance Overholt going to be on the pole to his outside the 45 of Daryl Tidrick. And man, he was that guy who you knew he was just hoping and begging for that first race to be done.
Absolutely. Along with a lot of other guys, too, not to mention. But as you see the grid roll through there, a lot of guys are going to have to work their way up to the front here. As pace cars rolling, 2 pace laps around here, and then we'll get set for our second A main of the night. 100 more laps these guys will have to work with, but these guys will all have clean cars this time around now.
And I know Sean Brightsman's going to be happy about that, the 46, because his car was banged up after that first race. So Sean Brightsman, definitely one of many guys who I'm sure are going to be beyond thrilled that they have a fresh car for this one.
Fresh car along with fresh tires as well, fresh rubbers, and I'm sure we do have 2 drivers who didn't make to the second field. I know that Josh Childress is not in the field for the second one, as he disconnected within, was it the first 10 laps of the first one, unfortunately. So he will not be in the second A main as well.
He was caught up in that early accident in the second one with Dylan Huffines. And how about that? Dylan Huffines had to climb through the field. He climbed up enough to get himself the 3rd starting spot. But Justin, we're coming to green.
Absolutely. And it will be Chance Overholt leading him to the green flag. He's already on it. And man, that was a bad restart for that 45 of Dale Tidrick. But we are rolling here at Martinsville.
We will see what comes of that. Tidrick definitely not ready for that one. Overhold out to the early lead. We'll see what happens there on that restart.
Dylan Huffines up to 2nd there. Daryl Tidrick back to 3rd at the moment. Now everybody having to work their way through the field here now. Bryceman in 8th at the moment as everybody shuffles around at the back straightaway.
So Overholt leads early in this one. Huffines 2nd. Dylan just trying to get a much better run than what happened with him in the first race. And he's off to a good start. Started 3rd up to 2nd. Right now just trying to get some laps in to get up there and maybe make a run at the win later. So far Overholt hanging tough in there in the lead. Chance Overholt leading the early stages of race number 2.
Breitzman underneath the 51 of Brian Lambert. That is for the 7th position. He will complete that pass, and they're almost 3 wide back there. Jason Berg almost made it 3 wide between the 0-2 of Seth Fraser and the 51 of Christopher Heim. He makes that pass, but man, that got really close down the back straightaway. There was no way that was going to work.
Are you surprised it's Jason Berg, the one making the moves early?
Well, no, but I mean, it's only lap, what was it for? That was way too aggressive, too early. That could have been a race ender there.
It all sorts out. Huffines beginning to creep in now on the bumper of Overholt. So Dylan Huffines begins to close the gap on Chance Overholt. We may have a battle for the lead early.
Well, the pole sitter last race was able to lead them all flag to flag, so see if Chance can do that. And same story, different people here for the second A main. The 62 up front at the moment. Dylan Huffines not letting him get away at the moment.
And I'm kind of curious on the number 80 of Paulson. He's +1 right now. We never really got to see what that 80 car had in traffic, as right when they caught up to lap traffic in that first race, the caution came out. So we never really got to see what that 80 car had in traffic the first race. I'm almost wondering if maybe he's not going to be as strong in traffic as we would think. So I'm keeping an eye on that 80 car to see his process throughout the field.
That could absolutely be a factor, you know, especially when you're back there in 15th and the only traffic you really had to deal with was of the lapped variety. So he's gonna have to learn at the moment to get through here and see what this car can do here. as Jason Berg has cracked the top 10, just past the 52 of Ryan Lambert.
Boy, Jason Berg making moves all over this track here to start this off. He was the one that was making the big moves in the first one as well.
And the 23 of Cameron Doyle. Something happened over there, not quite sure, but there was a big checkup, and Matt Hackthorne lost a lot of time and was almost sitting in turn 4, and he's going to go wide in 1 and 2.
He had a big slide, and that could have been a lot worse, but Donovan Barr, who's to the inside of him now, he had a little bit of a slide as well. Hackthorne got lucky there to only lose 1 spot. Oh, but he's in the wall.
Those tires are warmed up and basically basketballs at the moment. I'd have to believe he's having a hard time hanging on to that car, and I'd have to believe he either slide in 3 and 4 or had to slam on the brakes, but something happened, and those tires are really hot right now. He's going to have to cool them off, but that's going to be easier said than done on that high line.
Yeah, the freight train takes its first victim of race number 2, and as of now, it's Matt Hackthorne. But he's done a good job. He's only lost 2 spots now, 3 to Fraser, but Jason Berg following suit on the inside.
Oh, that was a hard hit.
He gets the wall again. That was a vicious hit to the wall. Oh, he caught Berg on the quarter.
And that door is still...
He just caught Berg just at the very tip of the quarter panel of that 21 car. We'll see if that slows him down even more. But Hackthorne falling like a rock here in the early stages. He was up a couple spots too, but something has gone drastically wrong on that 44 car.
Taking a look back at it, just got into the bumper of the 23 and had to slam hard on the brakes as the 23 got away unscathed, really, just a little slide. The 44 paid the worst of it and lost all his momentum and then got really wide into turn 1, as you saw.
Looks like he's finally got the Mopar settled down enough to try to cool these tires off in front of Andy Fuller as Jason Berg tries to reel Seth Fraser up in front.
And there is a huge, what looks like bottleneck behind the 20 of Nick Bellamy at the moment. Garrett Huffines and Travis McKinney seem to have a hard time hanging behind that 20, as it looked like the 82 of Bart Hector Jr. was able to let the 1 of Garrett Sisko behind him, but those guys were running nose to tail for about a lap or 2 behind the 20.
Meanwhile, up front, Chance Overhaul has begun to stretch out a little bit over Dylan Huffines. Daryl Tidrick in third, so we saw wire to wire in the first race, and so far 17 laps in this time by, and Overholt's led every way so far, so we'll see what happens here with the second one, but so far looks like the pole has been the place to be.
And Greg, it's funny, this is about the same situation we saw last time, just a little bit closer to each other, with the 62 pulling away from the pole, the 7 not letting them get too far behind, and the 45 of Daryl Tidrick just behind, kind of just waiting for those guys to get racing, and at the same time probably saving a bit of tire.
Yeah, Daryl Tidrick's definitely saving tires here in the early stages of race number 2 to try to make a move. Although I'm wondering if he's gonna make him or try to time his move or plan his move if we stay green the whole way, or if he's counting on a caution for his strategy.
Well, I mean, this is Martinsville. Can't count out the cautions, and I think we had at least 2 or 3 of them that first day main, but these guys have kept it pretty clean so far here in the early going.
These guys have done a great job both races. I mean, we saw a huge, about 60 lap green flag run in the first race, so these guys have done a really good job keeping it clean out there today.
I think that just came down to once they knew what the cars were going to do with this, take a look at the track temp real quick. It's 89 degrees at the moment. We see the 88 of Rusty Webb on pit road, but these guys are dealing with 102 track degree temperatures. The 88 parks it, but 102, these guys are slipping and sliding along with a tough setup that these guys have to deal with. They got their hands full, and it's definitely showing.
And it's making for some great on-track racing as Overholt leads. Huffines is second. Remember, Dylan was up in the mix at the start of the year at USA International in the very first race. He was up in the mix following his brother Garrett around. So Huffines trying to capture some of that momentum back from that first race. But since then, it's really been a struggle for that 7 car.
How about the guy in 6th place at the moment? Sean Brightsman slowly working his way up. Looks like he's doing the same move that he did in that first main. Gets up about a groove higher into the corner and then dimes it in. Looks like to a little, no, about the same extent as he was in the first A main, and it looks like it really paid off for him there. It looked like he got a good run down the back.
He's taken the higher line on entry than both Barr and Doyle, as is Jason Berg. No surprise, Jason Berg trying to make the outside lane come in, as he's going to get the spot from Seth Fraser. That outside lane may be coming in even quicker than it did the first time, as, boy, Berg just made it move right there.
A little bit of contact. The 486 and the 9, just a slight bumper tap, letting them know, hey, I'm here, and I want by. And how about that? Jason Berg, Sean Brightsman nose to tail once again.
And they were like this throughout the majority of that first race, just kind of picking their time, making moves. So we'll see if, now that they found each other again, they do the same.
And I think, the difference from the first main, Greg, is they were there with about, 40 laps to go in this position. Now we have 75 laps to go, so they got a lot of time to work with.
Brightsman to the inside now of Donovan Barr.
Oh, he's going to get him!
He takes contact! And he gets collected as well. Oh, no.
The 21 had to brake to avoid, and the 9 going to lose a whole bunch of spots. And now Brightsman possibly with some more damage.
We stay green for the time being, and it'll be curious to see what the tower rules on that 46 car. Definitely not how he wanted that one to go. And that's a tough break for Donovan Barr. He lost a lot of spots on that one.
Absolutely. Well, everybody will catch their breath here, and unfortunately for that 9, I have to imagine that he's going to have his work cut out for him. The 46 does not have any damage on his car, and the 21 does not as well, but Donovan Barr all the way back to 14th now, and stuck on that high side.
So no caution. Looks like Sean Brightsman is going to be good.
Oh, and more contact with Donovan Barr in the back. The one of Garrett Sis turns him around hard into the wall. No caution once again. As he's stopped on the apron. He's going to be stopped on the racetrack backward. Well, here comes the leaders. They have to throw caution at this point.
They finally do.
Oh, no. Okay, I thought Daryl Tidrick was going to hit him. He was heading right for him. Oh, man. Take a look at what happened here. This is turns 1 and 2. And he's still sitting in 3 and 4 waiting for the field to go by.
Sis gets the run on the inside and just contact.
That 9 car getting used up here tonight, it appears. And then here's the part that scared me the most. You're going to see this 45 right here. And then from that view, it doesn't look too bad, but when you're watching from the blimp and it looks like he's heading straight for the driver or the passenger side door, start to worry. All right, well, our first caution of the night for this second A main. Chance Overholt still your leader from the pole. It is Dylan Huffines in second, Daryl Tidrick in third, Cameron Doyle in fourth, Sean Brightsman rounds out your top 5.
Do you have an old crap can like this taking up space in your driveway? Are you still holding on to your old high school whip? Did your aunt run off to Alaska with her boyfriend and leave her shitbox Cadillac sitting next to your house? If so, call Woffords Towing. They haul off junk cars just like these, and they even pay you cash for those old clunkers. So let's recap. We take your pile of crap, we put it in our state-of-the-art pancake maker, and we squeeze out all the cash. Woffords Towing and Auto Wrecking, 201 South Frontage Road, Wapato, 509-877-4944.
And back at Martinsville, here for race number 2 of the iRacing.com Joe's Racing Products Northwest Tour. Twin 100s brought to you by Woffords Towing tonight. James Paulson got the win in the first one going wire to wire, and Justin, so far, Chance Overholt's done most of the same.
Absolutely. He's led the first at least 35 of them, and he's looking to continue that streak as the pace car is off. Chance is your leader. Dylan Huffines next to him in second, and that's 62 off once again. The 7 gets a better start. Oh, and the 45 of Daryl Tidrick. The 23 as well.
And how did more guys not get caught up in that?
Absolutely. That could have been a lot worse. Let's take a look at what happened on the restart. And the 45 just moved up in front of the 23 there, and unfortunately I don't think the 23 was of Cameron Doyle was thinking he was going to come up that far, and unfortunately it spun the 45 of Daryl Tidrick around.
We're on board with Cameron Doyle, but if we get another shot not of it, I want you guys to keep your eye on that 02 of Seth Fraser, because he did an amazing job to get that silver bullet through. If we can get one more look at it. Yeah, we're on board with him right now. Keep your eyes on what exactly he sees as we come through green flag, because he did an amazing job to avoid this one. Just sees it and just shoots to the bottom. Does a great job to not only avoid the contact with Doyle and Tidrick, he missed Brightsman and the guys behind him as well. That was a great job by Fraser to get through that.
Really looked like you saw it coming, and as you said, great avoidance there, and we'll be in the top 5 at the moment. Everybody's waiting for the pace car at the moment, which is just at the top 5. And now it's making its way through the field.
Is that Brett Bodine driving the pace car? Because if he is, he's slacking.
It is, Sunday, but church is over, Grandma, so. All right.
And Overholt's messing with the pace car now. Overholt wants to race.
Oh, I think they have to let the pace car by now, or pass the pace car. Wow. That's, all right, well, everybody has to let the pace car by and then catch it once again for... Well, this is, very interesting. Everybody was waiting for the pace car, and now they have to catch back up to it. So, a little bit of contact there with the 23 of Doyle and Brightsman. I mean, it was pretty close.
So under yellow, 40 laps down now as Overholt crosses the strike under yellow, trying to catch back up to the pace car. It's Overholt. Huffines. We'll see if Doyle keeps his spot, because he got a wicked shot. I'm wondering if he's going to keep his spot or if he'll elect to fall to the back if he's not sure that car is 100% right now.
Well, we can't confirm that Daryl Tidrick was given the EOL for that instance, so he will be the one going to the back. And take a quick look at the 23. That damage almost looks similar to what that 46 of Sean Brightsman had that first A main, as they've delayed the green flag. But it would be interesting to see, like you said, Greg, whether that's going to affect the way that 23 Ford Fusion drives here.
Yeah, it looks identical to the damage that the car that was outside the 46 of Brightsman had in that first one. Brightsman definitely going to be much happier that his car is intact still right now. How about Seth Fraser in the top 5, the 02, the Silver Bullet, Coors Light, doing a great job here in this second race.
Absolutely, a great looking car and a great performance at the moment. Just missed that last incident there and inside the top 5 in that inside line. As you see Daryl Tidrick getting caught up. Lights are out on the pace car. We're going green this time by Chance Overholt, still your leader. So far, wire to wire for that 62 Will that change on this restart? The 7 got a good one last time. Through 3 and 4. Overholt is on it. Green flag is out. And he's going to go up in front of the 7 of Dylan Huffines there before the start-finish line. See if anything is called on that.
So good job by Overholt on the start. Huffines not letting him get away from his Chevy Camaro, though.
Oh, 23! Into the barrels! That's going to be a hard hit. A lot of guys collected. I see the 80 of Paulson in there, the 16 of Fuller. The 46 of Sean Breitzman involved, BJ Tidrick. A lot of competitors involved in this one.
He got hit by Breitzman, and oh my
Jason
goodness,
Berg.
what a hit on Scepter. That took out a lot of contenders.
I have to imagine that he got a shot. Taking another look here. Yeah, Breitzman, just a little shot entering the corner. That's all it took. And oh my goodness, what a hard hit. We're gonna ride on board here at the 23, I hope. Here we are. And hold on. There's the hit.
Watch out.
Man. Wow. Really got a feel for Seth Fraser there. Really nothing he could do in that situation.
No.
Jason Berg
did get contact in that 21. Man, a lot of guys coming through. I think the one who got through was the 82 of Bart Hector Jr. I think he got through.
Wow. Well, that's Greg. That shook. That shook just about everything up at this point. A lot of good cars involved in that one. On board with the 82 here at Bart Hector Jr. Mark Binders, contact with the 33 there.
No, he got into the back of the 33. But he did a good job to keep that to the minimum. He did a good job to keep that to the minimum, though.
Yeah.
But a lot of contenders caught up in this one.
He got contact from the front, hitting the 33 there, and then hit from behind as well. So, man, that's. At that point, I thought the 23 was just going to get stuck in the wall, but I guess iRacing Physics had other things planned. Man. Well, how does that all shake up? Overholt still your leader, Huffines in second. How about Jason Berg in third with, I'd have to believe, a pretty heavily damaged race car. Yeah, I see that left front all bowed out and the front end's destroyed. That car is not going to drive to his standards, I'd have to believe. There you go, there's a look at it.
Yeah, that car is definitely got a lot of damage on it. I don't think Jason Berg's car is going to be anywhere near where he wants it for the second half of this race.
Oh, well, how about the 02 that nearly flipped there? He's still rolling, Seth Fraser.
He's got a lot of damage as well, as does Hackathorn Hector, with a lot of front damage after the contact with, who was that in front of Hector? Margheim, I believe it was.
Yes. Surprisingly, though, Fraser's damage looks less than Jason Berg's. All right,
so restarts have been changed to single file after the big wreck. Going into turn number 3, Sean Breitzman has been sent to the back. Cameron Doyle retires from the race. We get set to go green.
Clean and green will start there. Overholt still your leader. Talked about it all night, but the trend is you start on the pole there. For the most part, you're going to lead all the laps. Paulson did it the first one, and Overholt looking to do it in the second one. And how about Jason Berg still holding on with that, I think it's safe to say, destroyed race car.
Destroyed race car is definitely probably the way to say that one, but he's doing a good job so far, but I'm wondering just how long before Nick Bellamy is able to have his way with him in that 20 car as we make our way closing in. Actually, we're just past halfway now in this one. 48 laps to go for Chance Overholt, the 62.
And Jason Berg was actually looking to possibly make the pass on the 7 of Dylan Huffines. He's doing an amazing job of driving with, I'm sure, what little race car he has. The moment contact, the 48 of Travis McKinney and the 20 of Nick Bellamy. Contact there, and everybody settles out. Oh, I see the 2 of Seth Fraser in the wall off corner number 4. Looked like light contact, but... all right. Everybody looks like they've settled down for the most part after that wild wreck and a clean restart. Almost looks like people are kind of afraid to pass at this point.
Although I'm noticing that some of the guys who were caught up in that accident, they're not really losing a whole lot of ground as Jason Berg now beginning to make moves on Dylan Huffines.
At this point, I got to wonder if that damage for that 21 is just aero, but it definitely looked like that left front had some pretty bad suspension damage, but he's still driving the wheels off it, and have to see if that's truth later in the race.
We'll see how it holds on for the rest of the night. 44 to go for Chance Overholt, the 62. Dylan Huffines there, and this is a lot different than what we saw in the first one. We saw a 2-car break at the front. We've got 6 cars here, single file, nose to tail, with 44 to go in this one.
Jason Berg still trying that high side, and somewhat working. He's going to get the wall just a little bit there off corner number 4, but how about this battle for the lead? Really, the top 5 nose to tail, with Garrett Huffines actually in 6th, just behind.
Overholt leads, Dylan Huffines, the younger brother, 2nd.
That's going to open the door for Jason Berg there.
Berg to the inside, gets to the door through 1 and 2, but can't get the spot, at least yet. Down the backstretch, Huffines to the bobble. And meanwhile, back behind him, a battle breaking out for the 4th spot. McKinney to the inside of Bellamy as Berg takes the 2nd spot. McKinney follows suit, making the inside lane work.
That door's still open for the 48. He'll try once again in 1 and 2 and almost sliding up into the 20 there. That seems to be the trend for the car on the inside. And that door still open, kinda. Nope, there it goes.
Bobble in the back there. Hackathorn, the 44. He's got a lot of damage from that incident earlier with Cameron Doyle and the cast of thousands that got caught up in that one. But Hackathorn had a pretty big bobble in that 44 car, but he's hanging tough in there right now with a heavy damage Mopar.
Speaking of heavily damaged, how about this 21 of Jason Berg, basically right on the rear bumper of our race leader, Chance Overholt, trying to make the most of what he can with that destroyed number 21 Ford Fusion there.
Doing a good job hanging tough in there, not going away. He's almost to the bumper of Chance Overholt. Jason Berg came home with a podium in the first one, and here he comes taking a peek to the outside. Man, you can just see the pure amount of damage on that 21 car, and it's not slowing them down at all. That's just incredible to see out of this 21 car.
Absolutely. A little under 40 laps to go. Berg trying to mount a run here. He's really working the diamond effect at this point, making that second groove work on the entry of the corner and really getting low on the exit. Doesn't quite get it that time, but definitely making a whole lot of ground up, working that middle or that second groove there and then making it work on the exit.
See if he keeps this a little bit of a higher line that he's been doing all day going. Falls in the tire tracks of Overholt. There as Overholt bobbled through 1 and 2. Hung on to it.
The first mistake we've seen the leader make this race, and lost a lot of ground to Berg. He's right on the rear bumper. Can't quite take advantage, though, on exit.
Able to fend them off for now, but you see right there, that is the gap between first and second, as Berg is just so strong on the entry of the corner, but Overholt seems to have his number on exit.
Down the back straightaway, still nose to tail. Exit of 4. That's about where Jason Berg at the moment has stabilized, about half a car length behind, as everybody still nose to tail. Possibly a battle there for 4th. with Bellamy. Oh, the 48 of McKinney gets the wall pretty good down the back. They keep rolling.
Still on board with the 21 of Berg, doing a great job trying to hang tough there with Chance Overholt. Dylan Huffines hanging tough in there too in this third spot. And remember, after the hard wreck at the start of the night, it's good to see Dylan back up there in third.
Just about on the rear bumper there. The 7 of Dylan Huffines, a slight mistake there. The 20 into the wall, contact with the 7. And what I thought was going to be a pass for third ends up being a pretty big mess and almost contact the 7 and the 20 off corner number 2. That could have gotten big.
Everyone did a great job there to keep it all pointed in the right direction. As everyone did a fantastic job to get through there. 31 to go now for Chance Overholt, trying to hold on and go wire to wire, but this is shaping up exactly like the first one between Paulson and Sisk. This is setting up exactly like it. Looks mirror image, just different cars and a lot more damage.
There was a good battle back in the field between Vernon Margheim and Matt Hackathorn. That one has just subsided.
For now, here comes Hackathorn again.
I say it might be brewing up once again.
Corner.
Definitely not letting him go. Hackathorn isn't.
Hector and Sisk back there as well. Garrett Sisk is caught up to this battle as well. 2 distinct packs right now behind the top 2. You got the top 2 kind of broken away, then you got 2 4-car packs trying to reel them back in.
How about the winner of the first A main, James Paulson, only up to 14th at the moment, so obviously that car, as you said, Greg, not as good in traffic as it was out front, and that might, I mean, realistically, I think that was the same story with Chance Overholt. He was stuck in traffic for most of the first A main and really couldn't go anywhere, but now up front, and he's leading the way. All right, well, we do have, well, his sound's not quite up at the moment on TeamSpeak, so he can't hear us at the moment. So see if we can't bring the 23 of Cameron Doyle up a little bit later here. Oh, now he's ready. Greg, let's see if you can catch up with the 23.
Cameron Doyle, Greg Rentz in the tower. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Cameron, tough break, man. Running in third and a hard hit in the inside wall. What happened out there?
Yeah, you know, I mean, going into 3, not sure if I just gave it too much brake or he was going to give it a hard run for the outside. But, I mean, either way, had bad luck tonight. Hopefully next race will end up a little bit better.
All right, Cameron Doyle, tough break for you, and we'll hopefully we can see you bounce back going into the next race.
Thank you.
That was Cameron Doyle, the number 23. Definitely a tough break for him. But meanwhile, that 4-car pack we were talking about, they have caught up to Berg and Overholt as they get racy up here. Dylan Huffline's catching back up now.
Absolutely, and Jason Berg not letting the leader go. That's been the story ever since they dropped the green flag from that last caution. Huffline starting to fall back just a little bit now. And the gap is opened up once again. So 23 laps to go at the moment. Could be seeing... Never mind. The only traffic they're going to have to deal with is from first on back, as they're still nose to tail at the moment.
Just see a hint of lap traffic at the end of the straightaway. 22 to go. Justin, do you think they'll catch up to that lap traffic that's about a straightaway ahead? Or do you think this one's going to be settled between the boys up front?
They might catch it, and if they do, I'd have to believe it's going to be the worst possible time with possibly 3 or 2 laps to go, depending on the speed of those cars and really the conditions of them as well.
Boy, one car who, despite looking like he's in bad condition, is doing a great job. That's 21 of Berg. How many times have we said it, though? Jason Berg at the end of the race in the mix. How many times have we seen this over the years? This guy is relentless when he smells a win in iRacing.
Absolutely, and I think the most impressive part about it is hard contact with the O2 of Seth Fraser in that last wreck, and he's still digging and acting like the car is fine. So that's what's most impressive to me, and he definitely a strong contender for this win. See what he can do here with 20 laps to go.
Another guy we were watching, Sean Brightsman, the 46, back in 13th. He's made his way back up after being sent to the back after being caught up in the wreck with Doyle. And the kind of the mess that was the relation of that. Brightsman doing a great job. Justin, you just saw something.
Yeah, they were stacking up behind the 7 of Dylan Huffines, and looked like the 20, 48, and 42 all accordioned. And contact with the 20.
Great save by Nick Bellamy. Great save.
18 to go. These guys are getting a little bit more pushy, and that's going to separate them out a little bit. And I think that's for the better at this point.
Settle things down, and it's a 2-car break with about a little bit over a second, maybe, back to Dylan Huffines. Yep, a little bit over a second between second place Berg and third place Huffines, so it's a 1.3 gap between Overholt and Huffines. Looks like, barring a major run from this pack of 4, it's going to be down to Overholt and Berg for this one if we stay green.
Something up with, it looked like Vernon Margheim. Almost looked like he stopped in 1 and 2. And that let Garrett Sisk all over the rear bumper. As these guys according once again just in third between Dylan Huffines and Nick Bellamy. And there goes Bellamy underneath the 7 of Dylan Huffines. I think he's about tired of running behind. He's going to try and get to the inside. He will get there. Contact in 3 and 4.
That's for the 3rd spot as Bellamy gets the spot. What? Huffines in the wall off turn number 4. That allows McKinney to come with him. And now Dylan feeling the from his older brother Garrett. Remember the USA International race? That was the story, but it was backwards. We'll see what happens here. Does Garrett maybe still remember that USA race?
And how much more physical will it get? Well, Huffines goes from 3rd all the way back to 6th, so he's going to be the big loser in that one with 13 laps to go.
Looks like Garrett decided making younger brother Dylan walk to school the following morning after that one is enough, as he just is going to take the spot relatively trouble-free. Back up front, Overholt and Berg.
I mean, this has been quite the interesting trend here tonight, Greg, where the pole sitter ends up at least leading the most laps in the race, if not all of them. We obviously still have a long ways to go here, with 12 laps to go, coming back to 11, but could be 2 races in a row where we see the pole sitter end up in victory lane.
But don't shy away. Don't shy away, though, from Jason Berg. He worked his way up from 16th to 3rd in that last one. 15th to 2nd in this one. And remember, Berg said at the start of the night he wasn't sure what he had for these guys tonight. How about a very strong run in both of these Woffords Towing 100s?
Ooh, 10 laps to go. I think at this point it's crunch time. Whatever Jason has in that car, he's going to have to make it work now as they head into 3 and 4. And lap traffic becoming more and more closer to these 2 leaders.
Like you said, looks like they're going to catch up to him about 5 laps, as Berg may have just kissed the wall in the 21. We are closing in on lap traffic. This one's not over yet.
Look at the front of that race car, Jason Berg. You wouldn't think that car had a chance in heck of racing for the win. And he overshoots the corner in 3 and 4 a little bit. Looks like he'll make it up on exit.
Hangs on to it in the 21. But doing a good job fending them off right now is Overholt, the 62. But just how long can he hold on with the 26 of Morrison getting bigger and bigger in his windshield?
8 laps to go, coming to 7. At what point does Jason Berg try something a little different to try and get at least to the inside of that 62 of Chance Overholt?
Will he even try the inside? He's been the one wanting the outside line. Will Berg try to make the outside lane work, or will he decide to go with the preferred lane? Strategy call here for the 21. What does he want his move to be?
It almost looks like the 62's kind of mirroring what he does, entering a groove higher, and both of them look like they're running the same line at this point. I think Jason's going to have to try something a little different if he wants to get this win.
It's a good run on the entrance to turn 3 that time, but Overholt so much better on exit. Boy, Berg has been so strong on entry of both corners. There it is again going in to the corner, but just watch Chance Overholt just so strong on exit. There it is again from the 62 car. And I think that was the biggest gap they've had in the last 30, 40 laps between first and second right there off of turn number 2 that time. But Berg with a bobble.
Absolutely. 4 laps to go. Lap traffic ahead. Will it play a factor here? I believe that's the 26 just ahead of Brad Morrison. Could they become a factor? 4 laps to go. I don't think they will at this point. Coming to 3 to go. It's going to be between the 62 of Chance Overholt and the 21 of Jason Berg.
Boy, Nick Bellamy has put a little bit of a gap, though, between himself and Travis McKinney and Garrett Huffines. Dylan Huffines looks like he's lost touch with that group. I think with just a mile and a half left, you're right. It's between Overholt and Berg at this point.
Garrett Sisk was actually able to get by the 7 as well, putting Dylan Huffines back to 7th. 2 laps to go. What does Jason Berg have for this 62 of Chance Overholt? Got really close there in 1 and 2. He might get a good run down this back straightaway. It's coming down to the money lap here. White flag next time by.
Man, Berg is so strong on entry of both corners to the bumper of Overholt, but Overholt punches the gas. White flag, 1 lap to go here at the paperclip.
Into turn 1, gonna put the bumper just a little bit to him. Doesn't want to hit him too hard and spin him out. This is the closest they've been down the back straightaway. Jason Berg takes a look, goes back inside, works that second groove, and it's not gonna be enough. For the second race in a row, the pole sitter is gonna go to victory lane. Chance Overholt wins the second A main.
Outstanding effort by Chance Overholt. Jason Berg had probably his best lap of the night on the white flag lap there. He did not lose any ground to Chance Overholt off exit like we had seen throughout the course of the entire night. And Overholt holds on to get the win.
And there was contact after the checkered flag between the 7 of Dylan Huffines and the 20 of Nicholas Bellamy. A little extracurricular activity after the checkered flag.
So tempers may be flaring on the 7. Yeah. I'm not going to go with maybe. I'm going to go with definitely on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's Martinsville. You have to expect that type of stuff, you know?
If we didn't see tempers flaring, was it really a Martinsville race?
No, it's not. And I think that's quite appropriate to top off the night there.
Would definitely be interesting to hear the conversations between the crews as Chance Overholt burns it down, his first career iRacing.com Northwest Tour victory.
Man, oh man, that's quite the stat we have here tonight, Greg, where both pole sitters going to lead all the laps and take it to victory lane. That's quite interesting. All right, let's see if we can't talk to Dylan Huffines here, Greg.
Hey, Dylan Huffines, Greg Rentz in the tower. You got a copy?
Yeah. What's up?
Hey, Dylan, a little bit of message sent there with the 20, or what happened there late in the going?
Yeah, just been getting tired of the way he's been racing people lately. I mean, he dumped Daryl at the road course last weekend. Today he's been just using that bumper a little bit too much, I think. Almost wrecking people that he shouldn't be wrecking.
All right, Dylan. So, sending a message to the 20 car, but had a good run tonight going for you in the 7, running up in the top 3 most of the night.
Yeah, it was a good run. Just trying to save my tires a little bit, use them up a little too much.
All right, Dylan, we'll let you go and get ready for the next race.
All right, thank you guys.
So yeah, Dylan Huffines sending the message, and now it looks like we're going to try to catch up. Justin, looks like you're going to try to catch up with the other guy involved in that. Here's Nick Bellamy.
All right, Nick Bellamy, 3YTV, you got a copy?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, a little contact after the race with Dylan Huffines and yourself from your view. What happened there?
Just a little bit of fun at Martinsville. I mean, between both mains, we got into each other a little bit, and myself with a couple other cars, but I mean, that's short track racing at its best.
Absolutely. Explained, well, pretty perfectly there. Well, for you, like you said, a good run in both mains here tonight, and you come home in the second one with a podium finisher.
Yeah, I'm pretty ecstatic. I had my buddy Shane Quinn spotting for me during the race. He was letting me go know on the action behind me, but I was mostly focused out the front windshield, just trying to control what I could with this hot, slick surface we had.
Absolutely. Well, we move on from one short track to another, and next week, 2 weeks, Myrtle Beach. What's the outlook on that track?
I actually don't have it yet, so we're gonna have to make a purchase here on iRacing and get to work. Hopefully make another podium a couple times this year.
I hear that one. Well, before we let you go here tonight, any sponsors or shout-outs that you have to give?
I'd just like to thank Shane Quinn. He did a standout job spotting in both mains. I know he was one spot short there in the transfer, but hopefully we'll see him out at Myrtle Beach.
All right. Congratulations, Nick, on third place here tonight, and we wish you the best of luck 2 weeks at Myrtle Beach.
Thank you very much. Take care.
All right, that was third place. And Greg, I believe you've caught up with Jason Berg here.
Hey, Jason Berg, Greg Rents in the tower. Got a copy.
Yeah, I got you, Greg.
Man, what an effort for you in that second race, man. Getting caught up in that wreck early and all kinds of damage. We thought you were done for the day, but boy, did you prove us wrong.
I thought I was done for the day, too. It was definitely not driving right after that, and it was really close to blowing up. My water and oil temperature were both flashing at me the whole rest of the race, so I'm glad I made it, but I had nothing for Chance at the end. He drove an awesome race, and he did a really good job.
All right, Jason. A third and a second, definitely a good outing here at Martinsville. You should look pretty solid there to add to your points lead tonight.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. I told you before the race that I knew passing here was going to be hard because it's such a tight track. Everybody here is running pretty similar speeds, really. So it was just really all about luck tonight. It's kind of like a super speedway in a way, where you just got to get lucky and bank on other people's mistakes. So yeah, it should be pretty good for the points lead, and I'm looking forward to Myrtle Beach. That's one of my favorite tracks.
All right, we'll let you go, Jason. A third and a second tonight. Congratulations. 2 more podiums on the year, adding to your points lead. We'll see you at the beach.
Yeah, thanks. Talk to you later.
And that was second place, Jason Berg. And we've caught up with our race winner of the second race, Chance Overholt. Chance, Greg Rents in the tower. Got a copy.
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, Chance, man. You fended off Jason Berg tonight. Led all 100 laps in that second race. How was that battle with Berg coming down there with him all over you and lap traffic filling your windshield?
Well, first of all, I got really lucky with my starting spot. I knew Berg and Seth and some of those guys were going to be coming. Brightsman was fast. So I really got lucky by where I started. Once I saw Berg pull in behind me in my rearview mirror, it's almost like seeing Kyle Busch in your mirror, and he almost gets in your head a little bit. And luckily, he had a little bit of damage. I'm sure that helped my case a little bit, and was able to hold him off.
All right, well, Chance Overall, first win on the iRacing.com Northwest Tour, brought to you by Joe's Racing Products. Who do you want to thank?
Definitely want to thank Woffords Towing and Auto Wrecking for sponsoring this week's race, and Joe's our title sponsor, and everybody else that helps out, Mike Wood, and Kustom Fab, and Tidricks Quality Transmission. Definitely a great series. I want to thank Josh Robinson for the setup. His setup was the base for this setup. It created great racing today. Really hard to pass, but some long green flag runs there. It was a lot of fun. Looking forward to next week.
All right, Chance, getting set. Looks like you're going for 2 for 2 going into Myrtle Beach. Good luck, and we'll see you there.
Thanks, guys.
All right, well, Justin, that wraps it up. Another win, or another 2 races down. Chance Overholt picking up the win tonight. James Paulson winning the first one. And Justin, who got the top 5?
Well, Chance Overholt, as you heard, your race winner here tonight. And, I mean, I can't get over that stat where both pole sitters lead all the laps and go to victory lane. It's quite impressive, but Chance going to take the victory here tonight. Jason Berg 1 spot short, but not for a lack of effort in second. Nick Bellamy in third. Travis McKinney fourth. Garrett Huffine is going to round out the top 5 here tonight.
Garrett Sisk with a big bounce back from the heartbreak at the end of the first race with a top 10 tonight in 6th. Dylan Huffines matches his car number with 7th. Bart Hector Jr. a top 10. Matt Hackathorn and Vernon Margheim round out that top 10.
And 1 spot outside of the top 10 is Brian Lambert, who comes home 11th. Sean Breitzman in 12th. Daryl Tidrick 13th. James Paulson, the first A-main winner, going to come home 14th. And Seth Fraser rounds out the top 15, after almost flipping over.
Andy Fuller, Brad Morrison, BJ Tidrick, Chris Heim, and Cameron Doyle will come home in 20th after the hard shot. I'm pretty sure all those guys were caught up in that mess about midway through. Who rounds out the field?
There's going to be the 9 of Donovan Barr in 21st. Rusty Webb parked it early. Will come home in the 22nd position.
So that wraps it up. Justin, you mentioned it. Next stop, we're going beaching at Myrtle Beach.
Yes, sir. But before we do that, going to take some time to spend some time with the family for Christmas. So we're going to be off next week, as I'm sure everybody going to be traveling and such. So we'll see you in 2 weeks' time at Myrtle Beach, and really looking forward to that one. Greg, I've never been to that racetrack, so it should be a whole new animal for me. So looking forward to it, and I'm sure we're going to see some more great racing like we saw here tonight.
Definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're so happy to have you joining us all year long on the iRacing.com Northwest Tour, brought to you by Joe's Racing Products here on 3 Wide TV. We hope you guys have a very, very happy holiday season, and we look forward to seeing you at the next one in Myrtle Beach.
Do you have an old crap can like this taking up space in your driveway? Are you still holding on to your old high school whip? Did your aunt run off to Alaska with her boyfriend and leave her shitbox Cadillac sitting next to your house? If so, call Woffords Towing. They haul off junk cars just like these, and they even pay you cash for those old clunkers. So let's recap. We take your pile of crap, we put it in our state-of-the-art pancake maker, and we squeeze out all the cash. Woffords Towing and Auto Wrecking, 201 South Frontage Road, Wapato, 509-877-4944.